Hey everyone, it's Monday, March 9th, 2020. Welcome to Primarily Third. Let's look at what's going on in my classroom this week. We've been working on compound and complex sentences, and simple sentences is something we did earlier in the year. So I want to share with you a Jeopardy game that I found online. This is through jeopardylabs.com. And if you look here, I can choose my teams. And so what I usually do is boy and girl teams. Then I click start here. So this is the main screen. I have my team 1 and team 2 at the bottom. So they would select a category. So they may say conjunctions for 400. We can go to the movies at 9 unless the car won't start. So they would have to identify the conjunction. So they would say unless, and then I hit the space bar, and there it is. And this would give the team, if this was team 1, this would give them their points. And then you just go in and you hit escape to continue. And you can play the game this way. My kids love playing these Jeopardy games, and it gets pretty heated in here between the boys and the girls. But I just wanted to show you that. Again, that's jeopardylabs.com, totally free. And they have all different kinds of games for you to play reviews with your children. In reading, we are working on text structures. So we are working on identifying whether a text is compare and contrast, if it's descriptive, problem solution, cause and effect. The main ones we work on in 3rd grade are sequence, cause and effect, and compare and contrast. But I also want them to know that they need to be aware of descriptive and problem and solution. So these text cards I got on TPT, and I just printed them out in color and laminated them. And the way I'm going to use this is we're going to do a text structure scoop with this. So I will be putting them on their tables. I'll probably tape them down to their tables, and they will have to read the cards, and then they will have to decide which category it belongs in. For instance, this one here would be a descriptive text. This one, they talk about a problem and a solution. So these are just some cards that I'll use. I think there's like 32 in the set. Of course, I have 18 students, so we will be using 18 of these, and then some of the others I'll just put up for a review. This is the actual sheet that they will be recording on. So what they'll do is they'll match up the number on the card that they're working on, and then they will write in what type of text structure their paragraph has. So this is something, again, it's called text structure scoop. It makes it more engaging for them, and they actually get to move the entire time. So they read a card, they record, and when I say scoot, they move to the next one. Next thing I want to talk about are some mentor texts for opinion writing. I just got these books in, a few of them. I've had a few, but a couple of them I just got in over the weekend from Amazon, and I read this one today. It's called Give Bees a Chance. This is a great book that shows why we should save the bees and why we should be scared of bees. I did read this book today. They loved it. So they thought this was really a fun book. It's got some really fascinating facts. In the story, the bee is talking to a boy, and the boy does not like bees. He can't stand bees. And so the bee is trying to convince him of why we should give bees a chance and why bees are good for us. Really great book for opinion text. The next book is I Hate My Cats, and it's a love story, and this is a really good story. It's actually written on a pretty low level, but we know that we can use this text with any age, but this is a really cute book about cats. So it's called I Hate My Cats. The next one is called I'm Trying to Love Spiders. And this one is written by the same author as the first one that I showed you, Give bees a chance. This has some really cool spider facts in it and some reasons why we should love spiders instead of hate spiders. My principal actually has a phobia of spiders, scared to death. Even a picture one freaks her out. This would probably not be one that she would want to read, but this author also has, I don't know if you've heard of this one, but I'm Trying to Love Math. That's another one that's written by the same author. So this is I'm Trying to Love Spiders. This one is actually a New York Times bestseller. It's called Can I Be Your Dog? This is about a dog named Arfie, and he's trying to find a home. Failed to determine to find a home, Arfie writes letters to everyone on Butternut Street. Honestly, he's the best dog you could ever want. He's obedient, he's housebroken. He even has his own squeaky bone. Who will adopt Arfie in the end? You'll never guess. And so this is another great mentor text for opinion writing. Can I Be Your Dog? This one we've already read once, but we're going to revisit this one. And this one is actually going to be the topic that they're writing on tomorrow. So it's called Cats versus Dogs. Maybe you've seen these books too. I think there's a lot of the books of, this animal versus this animal. So this is cats versus dogs and who would win. And it gives a lot of facts too. And they're going to have to write their opinion paper on which one makes a better pet, a cat or a dog. And they're going to have to give their reasons why. So this book is a great mentor text. It's also found on Epic. If you don't know about Epic, Epic is free. You can go in, you can create an account. You can put your kids in, you can add them to your classroom, and you can actually assign to your kids. It gives you a class code, and they use that code, and they can go on and read books. It's full of books. So that may be something you want to check out too, especially if you're wanting to use a book, but you don't have an entire classroom set. This is a great way to use it. It's called Epic Books, and I will link it below, and I will give you a little sneak peek at what that looks like. This is what Epic looks like when you go to it. I'm covering this up just because I have assigned these to my kids, and there's some names showing, but this is what it looks like. Again, this is totally free. They do give you a class code, and what they do is they log in with that class code. I can go in and I can actually assign books. All right, so if you see here, I typed in the Cats versus Dogs books. This is a National Geographic kids book, and you can see that they have it in Spanish and they have this in English. They will use this book to help them come up with their reasons on which pet they think is best. Today is Wednesday. I want to show you a really fun game we played today. It's a Jenga game. We are finishing up our third quarter tomorrow, and our kids have to take end of the quarter tests. Third quarter was almost all fractions. I found a Jenga game on TPT. They are so much fun and they're so engaging. I have a giant Jenga set, and I have the smaller sets that they can play with maybe a group of 2 or 3 kids. So we used our giant Jenga for this game, and I'm going to insert some pictures so you can see the tower and what it looks like. But we played the game, and what they had to do is I have a little cube that has colored dots on it. So I would roll the cube, and I would just roll it under my document camera. We would put the corresponding problems to that color on the smartboard, and everybody had to work every problem. So this is a way to keep them engaged in a game, because we know a lot of times if they think, oh, I've already had my turn, then, they may kind of lose some interest in the game. So for this game, they had to work every single problem. So every child worked every single problem. And then I would use my equity sticks that I have, and I would pull out a name. And if I pulled your name and you got your problem right, so they had to show me if they had it right, then they got to remove a block from the Jenga tower. And our Jenga tower got huge. This is probably the biggest one my class has ever built, and the engagement was unbelievable. So I'm going to show you what the actual sheets look like. So this is the yellow, so you can see they were having to compare fractions on this one. And then this one was the green color. This is the blue. And so for this one, they just had to write the fraction. Purple, they had to write the equivalent fraction. And then on the pink, they had to write the fraction that's represented on the number line. This is the red side. They had to write the fraction as a whole number. So we played this, and it was a great review. It was engaging. They didn't give up because they could also get pulled more than once from the cup. So that kind of kept it engaging too. So it wasn't like, okay, I've had my turn and I'm not going to have another turn, so I'm just going to check out. I did get the giant Jenga blocks from Amazon. I actually got it on a Donors Choose grant that I wrote for math, but I will link it below. And the blocks come just plain, but we painted the ends of them to correspond with the Jenga colors. Hey everyone, we have finally made it through our third quarter. Our kids do not have to come to school tomorrow. We have a teacher work day, so that's really nice. I do want to share with you an activity I did with my kids today that was really cool. We know that fighting germs is very hard, especially for kids, because they are always touching everything, and they're putting their hands in their mouth, they're touching their face, they're chewing their lanyards, their pencils, whatever. So today I wanted to show them the importance of hand washing. So I was able to find this lotion. It is called Glitter Bug Potion, and it's a UV disclosing lotion. What I did is I gave them all a little squirt of this Glitter Bug Potion, and then I said, all right, we're getting ready to go somewhere. And they were like, oh, where are we going? And I'm like, the bathroom. So I lined them up, went to the bathroom. I asked them to wash their hands. I told them, I'd given them a special lotion, and I just needed them to wash their hands. I did not tell them what we were going to be doing. So, of course, some of them go in and they're very fast with their hand washing. They come out, they use soap, and, they said they use soap in their paper towels, and they come out. And so we come back into the room, and I shut the darkening shades. I pull those down. I shut my darkening curtains, cut all my lights off. I even blocked the light that's coming through the door so that we can use a black light. And I go around and we shine the black light into their hands. And so this simulates germs. So any of the lotion that was left on their hands that they did not wash off well showed up under the UV light. So we talked about the importance of hand washing. And what I found with a lot of my children, they did pretty good on the inside of their hands, but if you get past the palm of the hand, a little bit on the wrist, they do not wash above that. And then when you look at if they turn their hands over, they're not washing the back of their hands or their fingernails. So they were totally shocked at the results of this. And I'm really, really hoping that maybe that they get this message that hand washing is so important for us to keep ourselves healthy and keep those around us healthy so we're not spreading germs. And I actually had one student that he had touched his desktop or his tabletop and a laptop. When I got to him to do the black light, you could see the handprint from the lotion where he had touched the table, and you could also see on the computer. I really am hoping that this lesson got through to them today, and how important it is to keep our hands away from our face, because whatever we're touching, we're just spreading those germs around, and then other people touch it. So I'm going to insert some pictures from today. They are just hands, so there's no faces showing, but I just want to show you what a great activity this was. I got this lotion from stevespangler.com and I will link it below. Since this activity, like so many other schools in the U.S., our school system has been closed due to the coronavirus. I hope that this activity will stick with my kids for a long time and they will always remember the importance of hand washing.